Tirumurthy, Vice President of AIPA, Comrade Swaminathan, former General Secretary of South Zone Insurance Employees Federation, other dignitaries and invitees on the dais, and my dear comrades. On behalf of the All India Insurance Pensioners Association, I greet you all കാലയിലെങ്കിൽ വന്ന് അമർന്നിരിക്കും എല്ലാവർക്കും മേടയിലും അമർന്നിരിക്കും എല്ലാവർക്കും മനമാർന്ന വണക്കം. Why we have come all the way to this convention? We are all senior citizens. We are drawing pension either from Life Insurance Corporation of India or from public sector general insurance companies, and our lives are secure. We have come here not to again rejoice and celebrate our own benefits, but we are concerned about certain people who are aged more than 60 years and languishing without any financial benefit from the central government or for that matter from the state governments. So before I go to the issue proper, I want to quote a highlighted portion of an article published in the newspaper Hindu in the year 2022, to be exact on 15th of August 2022, written by Jean Rees and Easter Dafto. I quote, "Social security pensions, of course, are just the first step towards a dignified life for the elderly. They also need other support and facilities such as health care, disability aids, assistance with daily tasks, recreational opportunities, and good social life. This is critical area of research, policy, and action for the near future." So that is the vision he has projected. All the senior citizens should be taken care of. Their life and living must be protected. What is the pensioners' plight or senior citizens' plight? As of now, more than 9% of the population are senior citizens. And it is expected, as per the National Population Assessment, National Commission on Population, they say that by 2030, it may go to 18%. 18% means now for 146 crores of Indian people, total population, out of which 18% will be senior citizens. How senior citizens' interests can be protected? Article 41 and 42 of the Directive Principles of the Indian Constitution says, it recognizes the concurrent responsibility of the state government and central government to provide assistance to the citizens of senior citizens in case of unemployment, old age, sickness, etc. So the directive principles itself envisages that the government of India, the state, will protect the interest, will give relief to the citizens of India in case of unemployment, old age, and disease and disability. Whether government is doing that, there is a scheme provided by the central government, that is National Social Assistance Program 1995. National Social Assistance Program 1995, which provides for a paltry sum as pension for the senior citizens who are aged 60 and above. Original scheme provided that those who have attained age 65 will be provided a monthly pension of 200 rupees. Later it was, in 1990, they modified it and it was made available to persons who are aged 60 and above. And from 60 to 79, they will be paid a pension of 200 rupees per mensum. And after attaining age, they will be given a pension of, monthly pension of 500 rupees. That is the provision as per the National Social Assistance Program devised by the government in 1995. In fact, in 1980, Comrade E.K. Nayanar, the then Chief Minister of Kerala, he only introduced a pension for agricultural laborers. He introduced a pension scheme in the state of Kerala, providing rupees 45 as monthly pension to agricultural workers who attained age 60 and more. Even the famous economist Dr. K. N. Raj blamed the government. It is unproductive. Why do you spend money on that? It is unproductive. It is not for the good of the economy. The state government should not have ventured for that. And even press person were asking Chief Minister during press conferences, why do you give 45 rupees to these agriculture? They will use it for BDs and toddy. Then Chief Minister Nayanar quipped back, saying that they served us. They toiled in the fields to feed us, and at the age of 60, when they are not able to do their vacation, I am giving them 45 rupees. Let them spend it for BD or toddy, I don't mind. That is the message given by a Chief Minister of Left Front. In fact, it was the precursor, and based on that only, central government enacted this 1995 National Social Assistance Plan. And the NSAP 1995 was the product of the pension implemented in the state of Kerala. We must understand it. And what are the schemes? In the National Social Assistance Program, there are 5 schemes. 1 old age pension, 2 widow pension, 3 disability pension, 3 benefit for marriage for unmarried girls, and Annapurna scheme. Annapurna scheme is, if the seniors are not covered under any of the schemes, they will be given 10 kilograms of rice or wheat per month free of cost. That is Annapurna scheme. And this old age pension is rupees 200. And widow pension is rupees 300. And family benefit scheme is 10,000 for each delivery, like that. So these are the schemes divided. And the approach of the government, the present government especially, though the government, it was implemented in 1995 and revised in 2000, the state, when it enhanced to 200 rupees, the central government in the budget, during the budget session, the then finance minister requested state governments to give equal sum also to these senior citizens. But what is happening now? The state of Kerala, they are paying 2,000 rupees per month as pension to old age senior citizens, out of which only 200 rupees from central government. The rest of 1,800 rupees is paid by the central government from their own financial resources. That is the social commitment. And what the central government is doing, I went through the budget financial bill for 2024-25 and 25-26. The budget provision made for this scheme, these 5 schemes, 9,652 crores in 2024-25. All the pension parishad, including All India Insurance Pensioners Association, were demanding of the government to increase the pension provided to the senior citizens who are not covered with other benefits, to increase it to the minimum level of 2,000 rupees for the last 5 years more and more. Now our demand has been revised that it must be minimum 3,000 rupees should be paid to those persons who have no other pensionary benefits like that. But the central government is providing 9,652 crores in 2024-25. Next year, that is current year, 2025-26 also, the same 9,652 crores is provided, thereby meaning that they are not inclined to increase a single pie for this benefit. They are lip services provided, but in practical, they are not prepared to give any additional amount for this hapless lot. This is the situation. And another condition is these benefits are paid only persons who are below the poverty line, not all the seniors. Our demand is that universal pension for all the senior citizens. Why they should be given pension and their life and living should be protected? The government is telling about the economy. It says that it is the largest economy. Now we are surpassing Japan and we are becoming the fifth largest economy of the world. And it is the same country, largest poor people also. So anyway, our GDP is estimated to be $4.5 trillion of economy. That is 4,050 lakh crores of rupees. That is the total GDP is considered. For the GDP, I also contributed as an LIC employee. You also contributed. Everybody contributed. Every citizen of India are contributing for the, not only Adani and Ambani, all the persons who have been doing any vocation, whether it is permanent job or part-time job or informal job, they are also contributing to the economy. See, take for example, a man who is washing and ironing clothes. He is not provided employment by the government. It is a self-employment to sustain himself and for his family. He is earning an income of rupees 200 rupees or 250 per day maximum. That 250 he is not saving. That 250 he is spending in the market for purchase of food grains, for purchase of other essential goods. Thereby the economy itself is supplemented by his small portion of income, that paltry income. So Adani is also contributing to the GDP by way of his industrial investment. And the poor ironing man also is contributing to our GDP. So the government has the responsibility, the state has the responsibility when this person who has been contributing to the economy in whatever way he was able to do, when he is not able to do his usual vacation on the basis when he attains a certain, say 60 years of age and he is not able to do his vocation, he must be protected by the state. That is a moral responsibility of the state. He must be given some solace, some assistance from the exchequer. So that is why we are telling the persons who have been serving the country, who has been by way of their self-employment or informal employment, they have been also contributing to the exchequer. They must be protected and they must also be given protection. Now I told you now, around 18%, 9 to 18% are senior citizens. We just go through the statistics. 26% of people are self-sufficient seniors because they have their own income by way of pension or some other income. 26% of the total seniors are self-sufficient. 20% are partially dependent on family. They are partially dependent, not fully dependent. But 54% of the senior citizens are fully dependent on family members because they don't have any income of their own. That means 74% of the senior citizens as of now are either fully or partially dependent on family members. That is why we are telling the citizens who have contributed to the growth of the economy by way of their service, they must also be given a portion of the income they gave it to you. Because Supreme Court said, when the Nakara case came, Supreme Court observed that pension is not a bounty. As far as we are concerned, pension is, the court says, pension is not a bounty. It is a deferred wage. An employee who is doing his work with the confidence that at the evening of his life, the employer will protect him. They will ensure his life and living. So as an employee of the Life Insurance Corporation, when I attained age 60, I am given a reasonable pension to protect myself, to save myself. So that is the understanding. So during your employment, you did your work with sincerity, with utmost sincerity, with the hope that management will protect me. Same way, this people who are employed in informal sector, they also contribute to the economy. The state has the moral responsibility to give them a sufficient income to protect themselves. This is the demand of the universal pension for all. What is universal? It should not be a targeted one as put in by the statute that will be given only to BPL. What we say that, what we our demand is that all the senior citizens without any discrimination must be given a pension of minimum rupees 3,000 rupees. Of course, if they have any other pensionary income, they can be excluded. Otherwise, all of them should be given that benefit, so that there need not be any mechanism or machinery to weed out people. Everybody can be given. Now what are we doing? On the basis stipulating that this will be given only to BPL, below BPL people means you have to set in place a machinery to find out, to weed out people. In other ways, if you are extending it to universality to all the citizens who have attained age 60, in a negative way, if they have other income, they can be excluded. All others can be paid. So that is the demand we are putting up. Universal pension for all senior citizens. For this only, all India Insurance Pensioners Association have been all along demanding and campaigning. Somebody must take initiative. Yes, we got our own income because by way of pension. We are demanding updation of pension. We want other benefits. All other things are there. So there is a self-interest also. Unless your interest is, if your interest is to be protected, the people, otherwise they will be pitted against us. What government will say? These people are given pension. They are not getting pension because of you. Like that, they will try to pit those who are not getting the benefit against us. To avoid that, their interest must also be taken care of. That is why I all along have been demanding and telling our members that we must campaign amongst ourselves, amongst other sections of the pension organization, and involve all together and move forward so that this genuine demand is achieved by all the citizens of the country. See, when we go through what will be the amount required to pay a minimum of 3,000 rupees. When we made a study by the competent financial experts, they say that a minimum 3,000 rupees pension can be paid by providing 1% of GDP. If the government of India is prepared to provide 1% of GDP for payment of pension for the senior citizens who have no other pensioner income, only 1% of GDP is sufficient. The same government who plead inability to provide sufficient funds, they are giving benefits and concessions to the corporates by way of taxes foregone, by way of giving financial incentives. All these things are given, saying that if incentives are given, that will be reinvested for the benefit of the and that will benefit the country. But what in experience we know, whatever concessions and incentives given to the corporates, they have pocketed it. They did not create any additional employment, nothing they have done. That is why we are saying, in other developed economy, they are charging on wealth tax. In addition to income tax, they are taxing wealth, another tax, wealth tax. And there is another tax, the inheritance tax. See, in India only, if my father acquired a property, after it will devolve upon me. Nobody will question it. But in foreign countries and in developed economy, if father dies, that money will go to him only if an inheritance tax is paid to the government of that government. Because you have not produced it. It is not your income. It is not your property. It is created by your father. If you want to own it, you give a tax to the extent of 5%, 3%, 8%, then only. See, there is the Samsung Group chairman was in a ventilator. So ultimately, doctor told the children, there is no chance of recovery, so we are removing the ventilator support. That son pleaded, wait for 1 or 2 days because I want to find out some amount to pay inheritance tax, otherwise I will not get my father's property. So you put the ventilator for 2-3 days more so that I can arrange my finance. This is the condition in South Korea and other developed countries. So if the government is prepared to charge 1% of inheritance tax or 1% of wealth tax, in addition to income tax they are getting, this HAP plus lot could be saved by giving minimum at least 3,000 rupees as pension. If a state government like Kerala, which does not have sufficient resources, if they can pay 2,000, why central government cannot do it? So we just go through it. Wherever it is implemented, Kerala, they are paying 2,000 rupees per month. Chandigarh, they are paying 2,000. Maharashtra, 1,300. A state which has a large financial resources, they are paying 1,300. Bihar, 400 to 500. Chhattisgarh, 350 to 650. Assam, 200 to 500. All double-engine governments, you just go through it. And Gujarat, the so-called developed state, they are paying 1,000 rupees and 1,250 for aged 80 and above. Tamil Nadu, 1,500 and 2,000 rupees for 70 and above. So, given the will, either state government or central government must give the financial support. State government will supplement it. But central government must they must take the responsibility and they must provide sufficient financial outlay for payment of this social security benefit to the HAP plus lot. And naturally, state government will supplement it. That is why I am again and again telling the state government of Kerala, which pioneered the movement by paying 45 rupees of pension in the year 1980, and now they are paying 2,000 rupees per month. In spite of their financial difficulties and crunch, if they can do it, why central government cannot do it? That is our question. So these things has to be further explained and campaigned amongst the public. This is not a demand for just protecting our pension. Of course, we are happy our pension is somewhat protected. We don't have that updation benefit. Even then, a reasonable pension is, especially who are retiring now, recently who have retired, they are getting a only thing, or those who retired in the 86 and are on getting lesser pension. For that, our case is pending before the Supreme Court of India. An appeal was, especially petition was filed in the year 2017. After 8 long years, court took up the case and partly heard it also, and next hearing is on 4th of February. We are hopeful that court will hear the case in full and come out with a judgment. Anyway, courts are courts, it may go either way, but even then we have a hope that the court will, because the arguments marshaled by us, the other evidences given by our advocates, all are giving an indication that we may succeed in the case. So we are waiting. All the persons who are getting a least pension are waiting as hornbills waiting for rains. They are waiting for the benefits to come. Okay, that is another thing. And another happy thing, the family pension for public sector general insurance employees, we have been demanding increase to the extent of 30% as is given to all public sector employees and financial institutions. Government was dilly-dallying it. It was given to LIC from 11th September 2023, and yesterday Government of India came out with a press statement saying that government has approved and they are going ahead with a notification increasing family pension of the PSGI pensioners to the extent of 30% of wages last drawn without any ceiling. That is happy news. So in such a happy augury we are meeting here. So we have to tell and demand and go on campaigning for implemented this universal pension for all the senior citizens who have no other pensionary income. This question has to be further discussed, it has to further deliberated, it has to be further campaigned, it has to be spread to the masses of the people and taking support from all the groups, and this we can we are sure that if development is now as a pensioner, you know, the 12th September strike is being called by the central trade unions, 12th February. See, our interest is also in there. Pensioners' interest also involved in it. So, though we cannot strike work because we are retirees, but we are an enlightened group who can assimilate things, analyze things, and who can explain it to the common masses. We can act as a people who are opinion makers. So as a group of part of the opinion makers, All India Insurance Pensioners Association and the members of the IA have the responsibility to tell the people what is what and enlist their support for the fighting workers for the repeal of the newly amended rules in the trade union laws and labor legislations and other things. And as also this Mahatma Gandhi rural employment guarantee scheme that is also diluted, and the responsibility of spending to the extent of 40% responsibility thrust upon the state governments. Thereby they are trying to torpedo that scheme. These are all the issues we must also be concerned. Taking an overall view, we have to tell the people all these issues and move with other masses to get this, our genuine demand of universal pension for all should be secured. Thank you, comrade. Thank you very much.
தோழர் குன்னிகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்களுக்கு நமது கருத்தரங்கத்தின் சார்பிலே நன்றியினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறோம். இந்திய நாட்டில் எந்தெந்த மாநிலங்களில் எந்த அளவுக்கு இந்த ஓய்வூதியம் என்பது வழங்கப்படுகிறது என்பது உள்ளிட்ட பல்வேறு விவரங்களை நமக்கு தெரிவித்திருக்கிறார். எதிர்காலத்தில் ஓய்வூதியர்களாகிய நாம் இந்திய நாட்டினுடைய பல்வேறு அரசாங்க முடிவுகளை எதிர்த்து நடத்த வேண்டிய இயக்கங்கள் குறித்தும் அவர் வலியுறுத்தி இருக்கிறார். அது மட்டுமல்ல, அகில இந்திய இன்சூரன்ஸ் பென்ஷனர் சங்கத்தினுடைய உறுப்பினர்கள் ஒரு கருத்து பிரச்சாரத்தை மக்களிடம் கொண்டு செல்ல வேண்டிய அவசியம் இருக்கிறது என்பதையும் அவர் வலியுறுத்தி இருக்கிறார். என்ற அடிப்படையில் அவருக்கு இந்த கருத்தரங்கத்தின் சார்பில் மீண்டும் நம்முடைய நெஞ்சார்ந்த நன்றியினை உரித்தாக்கிக் கொள்கின்றோம். அடுத்து இந்த கருத்தரங்கில் வாழ்த்துரை வழங்குவதற்கு நம்முடைய BSNL ஓய்வூதியர் சங்கத்தினுடைய மாவட்ட செயலாளர் மரியாதைக்குரிய தோழர் செல்வின் சத்யராஜ் அவர்களை பேசுமாறு